Moon Knight, issue 19. We've done it, folks. We have reached a turning point in a Moon Knight comic book where we're finally going to make it to the 20s. Very cool. It's kind of exciting, isn't it? It's impressive we made it this far. Honestly, it is. I know people will be like, come on, he's had long runs before, but yeah, it's been a long time. We don't do this with him anymore. It's pretty cool we made it this far. So this issue is pretty much about two separate storylines. The first one, which we will talk about, is the stuff with Dr. Plesko and Zodiac, kind of setting up Zodiac to be a returning villain for something bigger. He is still locked up, and he doesn't actually escape in this issue, which I guess makes sense. We're trying to do the long game with him. So we'll cut between that and the stuff going off Mark. But we open up with Zodiac in the Meridian, and the basic idea is that Zodiac is being questioned by this doctor, asking like what he thinks about certain things. He goes on this little rant about like, you know, like some would say the two most important things that American art forms have created were jazz and comic books. You could easily argue that Japan beat us to both. But there's one thing I like that America was the first in doing: super villainy. And as he says that, that's an art form I could get behind. We see that Moon Knight and Hunter's Moon are riding a subway train going through the depths of New York City, and they're talking about the previous experience that Badir had when he died, and he came back. And then Badir asks him like the simple question: if the Fist of Khonshu doesn't die, then why are we the only two ones left alive? Why are we the only two, and why are we born in the late 20th century? Like, why is that happening? Exactly. We cut back to Plesko and Zodiac, and Plesko's like, okay, so supervillain. Yeah, one would argue the biggest supervillain is Doctor Doom. It's like, Doctor Doom, you know, so passé, so Euro, you know, all about like the, ooh, look how talented and sophisticated I am. No way, dude. You give me a stone cold serial killer like Cletus Cassidy any day. That's my kind of supervillain, a complete psychopath. That's my cup of tea. Zodiac likes his serial killers American and his crazy sons of a guns willing to extinct you in a moment. We love it. We're here for it. It's pretty fun. So Mark and Badir go deeper down the depths of these catacombs, somewhere broken there, just kind of asking the questions like, I guess it does beg a question if, you know, Greer and I saw a bunch of them when we were like going through like the Khonshu godscape to get to save you. It's kind of weird that they're dead, and it is every time we come back, something changes inside of us. So Badir is kind of like, you start to lose parts of yourself every time you come back, which is not a new concept. It's been done to death in comic books. The idea that the further you go away, like as soon as you die, you can't come back whole again. That's not an old concept, but it's been done a bunch of times. Kind of cool. They're just kind of shit-talking Khonshu for a minute, and it's going well. And then, you know, the cards kind of turn when Zodiac's talking to Plesko. He's like, okay, you want to sit here and judge me for liking the lunatics, but, you know, you know whose, like, side you're on, right? You know, like, you know who, like, the string master is that's controlling your puppet? It's Mark Spector. Because I've studied Mark Spector. I know all about him. I also know you worked with him in like some countries overseas, you know, in like third world stuff. You guys did some weird tours over there with Duchamp and Spectre. I know you were part of it, and we actually see him there with the boys. I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun, because Plesko did appear in earlier runs of Moon Knight, working for different organizations. He was a doctor in the 90s. Was it the 90s run he appeared? I can't remember, but we see that Mark and Badir make it to like some subterranean area. Just they're trying to help some certain people. We can't really see what it is, but we get our binoculars and we see that there's these like guys in sailor outfits controlling the moloids, because guess what? Even though they're subterranean in like the depths of the city, it's all province of the Midnight Mission, and if the travelers need help, Moon Knight's going to help them, because I love this to death. It's one of my favorite things to happen in this issue. A moloid, just a singular whatever moloid, comes up to the Midnight Mission to ask for help. I love that. It is so fun. And then it's just time for an ass whooping. So the Moons get into gear and start beating up the sailor guys. And then the moloids strike a revolution. They start fighting back too. Awesome. Are you telling me Moon Knight's going to be working with the moloids for a bit? Okay, you sold me, dude. Jed, you're still kicking ass in this book. I don't know how you keep surprising me at every turn, but you're doing it. And we'll come back to that at the end, because I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're just surprising me. It's amazing. We get some more pages where Zodiac's kind of like, yeah, I killed the part of me that feels guilt. I don't feel bad for anything happening now. It's just good. I'm just going to keep doing the good work and doing what I'm doing. And we just say, we're going to get some moloids to team up with our moons, and we're going to beat up some sailors. And then we get the reveal, folks. It's finally happening. We're going to get the Marvel Legends very soon, hopefully, because we have that big Kingpin body. Why not do it? Commodore Donny Planet, a very, very, very obscure character from Moon Knight history, does not have any sustaining periods. I'll put it this way. If they were to make a Commodore Donny Planet movie, it would be like El Muerto. It's like, what are you even doing? And he's just like, hey, laddie, let's fight. I'm trying to control the Subterranea. And then they just get into a fight, start kicking ass and stuff. And it's awesome. And this is what you're living for, you know? It's awesome just to see it. I love a villain that's like sailor themed, and he's got a big jacket and dumb hat, and he's got all the stripes for everything. It's awesome. This is so good, and it looks fantastic, and he's just kicking ass, they're taking names, and everything's working out in favor, and it's just so cool to see. So, couple more punches when Badir comes in to help because Mark almost gets killed. They shatter Donny Planet's ears. He goes down. The moloids are saved. And that is where the information is revealed to Mark. It's like, dude, I've been trying to tell you since we started this escapade coming down to the Subterranea. This isn't good. Things for us are bad, okay? We now know that we can die because we have seen there are already dead Moon Knights from out history. We're the only two left alive. We have both come back more times than once, and it has like waned on our mind. Not only that, it has waned on the mind of our father. And he sent me back with a message. The next time one of my sons dies while I'm imprisoned, I cannot resurrect him. What does that mean? Uh-oh. It means the Moon Knights are probably going to die if they die again. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That can track. I buy that. So that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, okay, that's a good plot point that they've been kind of setting up, this idea of resurrection, because we saw last issue when Badir came back, he was kind of shaken up about something. Now we know the thing he is shaken up about is that he is probably going to die. That's pretty cool. Now, do we think... I could see this book ending with one of them dying and then maybe not coming back, whatever. It could launch into maybe Badir comes the Moon Knight. Who knows? Kind of fun. But then we just kind of cut back and we see Plesko and Zodiac still talking. I get it, Doctor. You're on the side of Moon Knight. It's a losing side. I already beat him. I ruined him. He didn't kill me. He will never kill me. It's great. And I killed Soldier too. And Plesko's like, okay, you haven't heard. You failed, dude. Like, Soldier's alive. I'm here on Moon Knight's behalf, which is how I know Soldier's fine. Like, you didn't do it. And then he just freaks out. It's like, no, I shot him. He's dead. He's dead. He pulled the trigger. He did something wrong. Whatever happened to Soldier, it wasn't normal. And trust me, Plesko, you know it as well as I do. People who hang out with Moon Knight, they always end up dead. Do you hear me? They always end up dead. And we end the book on a nice page where we see a couple of shadowy villains in some masks and yellow teeth with a bunch of pictures of all the people in Mark's life. You know, his therapist, Dr. Plesko, Soldier's there, Greer kind of, maybe Badir's off to the side. The idea is a new like the old shadowy organization. Now, it does look familiar. For the life of me, I cannot place where I remember these aesthetics from. Old Moon Knight, I'm going to guess, is probably where it is. Just really cool, really fun to see this. And this issue was so strong. Like, okay, Zodiac being like, we do it right in America. We are lunatic sons of bitches, and that's what we need to be. It's all hypocritical. You think you're on the right side because you're with Moon Knight, but he's a lunatic. And then it's like, Moon Knight's leading a revolution with the moloids to defeat Commodore Donny Planet. What more do you want from a book? Like, this is it. This is everything we've wanted. I am genuinely, wholeheartedly shocked that this book works so well. It's unbelievable, amazingly fun, and such a cool thing to explore. I love it. I love it. It's great. So, Moon Knight issue 19. How cool is it we can say that? Moon Knight issue 19. I am going to give a 10 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Hive, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.